So, if you wanted to send a transaction to an individual, would you pay $23.7 million? Even if it was $100,000, would it make sense to pay a single cent over $100,000? Would it make sense to pay anything over 15% of the total transaction value, maybe 10%, 5%? Guys, we're talking about a transaction that in all reality should cost $30, maybe $20 even, on a good day $15, maybe $5 to send. But Bitfinex really did end up paying $23.7 million at the time. Of course, it's all going to vary based on when you look at it because of Ethereum's price. But in transaction fees, in order to send a mere $100,000 in USDT. So, how did this happen? Most of the money actually was returned back to the wallet. The miners did take a reasonable gas fee of about $33, but another gas fee disaster in the past didn't go this way. You see, they're very lucky that they received most of the money back. It was just a small little mistake, probably a little bit of a shocker for whoever the employee was who went through with it. But there was another mistake where they didn't get the money back. So a couple of years ago, several small Ethereum transactions were sent out by the same sender and had a wild sum of over $5 million at the time. So think about that with inflation. And back then, $5 million, not even inflation, but in cryptocurrency, that could be very well. I mean, if it was an individual who probably was very rich because he was a multimillionaire in order to have $5 million in fees, but if he held on to that cryptocurrency, whoever it was, that could be potentially worth hundreds of millions of dollars today, which is absolutely crazy to think about. So the sender never came forward, the money was not returned, and for some reason the miners decided, hey, the mining pools actually facilitated the distribution between all the miners and everybody got an equal split, but it was oversized by quite a bit. So what did Vitalik Buterin note? He said that the upcoming Ethereum improvement proposal, EIP 1559, would help avoid these types of problems in the future by removing the need for users to set their own gas fees. EIP 1559 was activated already back in August, and the latest fat finger gas fee did use the new EIP 1559 type of transaction. So what happened? Diversify, the Bitfinex connected platform that actually processed a $23.7 million transaction, ironically promotes itself as giving users access to DeFi protocols without paying gas fees. So Diversify offered a post-mortem of the fat-fingered error. The disaster was averted, so how did it happen? Diversify tweeted, the blockchain is immutable, but the revolution we are part of is defined by our values as humans. Thank you to the miner of block 13,307,440, who we can confirm is returning 7,626 Ethereum that were incorrectly paid today as a transaction fee. Diversify offered a 50 Ethereum return fee after the miner replied to an email. So 50 Ethereum, where right now each Ethereum, it was 3,000. Let's double check. I know the markets have kind of pooped out a little bit. Bitcoin was over 44,000. Now it's at 42,250. Ethereum was well, first of all, it was above 3,000. Now it's 2,927. But at the time, let's just go with 3K. It did hit 30. Like, wow, a lot has changed. But yeah, it hit 3,200. Then it crashed, and then it went up to 3,200 again, and now it crashed again. So, very volatile at the moment, but let's just say $3,000, 50 Ethereum, $150,000 mistake right there. That could have been a lot worse. So what gives? What happened? The problem was threefold by Diversify CTO Conrad Strachan. He goes into the details. An issue with the Ethereum EIP 1559 upgrade that would only affect very fat wallets, others would just see a failed transaction, combined with the fact that Ledger hardware wallets may sometimes display fees in a non-human readable manner. Okay? So maybe it wasn't just an employee, maybe they couldn't read it, maybe something happened, whatever. EIP 1559 was supposed to change the way Ethereum transaction fees, gas fees work. It replaced manually bidding on the fee fee offered to miners to pick up a transaction with an automated bidding system based on network congestion. Strahan said Diversify is working with Ethereum JS maintainers to fix what he described as a defect in the library. It also communicated with Ledger and has, for its own part, instituted safety and sanity checks were also added to ensure gas fees associated with transactions could not exceed unrealistic thresholds to protect against user error, extreme network fee spikes, and as an additional layer of protection against any future coding error. So it was a couple of mistakes hit into one. Human error, a glitch, you couldn't really read it. There's still some kinks in the armor, but we do have to remember that rules are written in, I don't know if I can say this word. It starts with BLO, rules are written in, the red stuff. So it's because, what that means, it's because in the past, someone has made a mistake and they paid for it dearly. Now, in cryptocurrency, we may not pay with BLO, but we may pay with a lot of money. And these are big financial mistakes, just as I have learned through losing a lot of money, and life has kicked me pretty tough. Life also can throw a pretty big kick to corporations, to CTOs, CEOs, startups, even Vitalik Buterin and some of the early crypto adopters. Everybody gets a kick, every now and then, right? It happens. We learn from it. And if it's a very costly mistake, we fix it so other people don't have the same mistake. And that's a good thing for the future. You see, if you're going to be using cryptocurrency in the future, it's going to be a lot more stable. There's not going to be as many mistakes. And for example, certain aspects like DeFi, where you could lose your money entirely because something gets hacked or there's a glitch or whatnot, that's going to be fixed. So right now, pretty interesting that Bitfinex almost lost 23.7 million. They lost 6 figures still. So that's today's video. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow.